You see him?
Oh,
He's
good
shaking.
morning. How are you?
Good. He's shaking.
He's fine.
He's by the front door.
Good morning. How are you? Welcome to Pat Taste Performance Weekly Live. There will definitely be no interruptions for this live. So yesterday's we'll start a little. We'll do like a brief synopsis because guess what? That guy messaged me again. So we will give that ram a roost. So what happened was last weekend.
You look dapper.
What was that?
You look dapper.
I wish I could say the same for you.
Sorry, my beard is not coming.
Oh, your
in.
water. Sorry.
I have one too, but thank you.
Where was that? I was looking for
it. Was right here.
Oh. It's white. White blends in with white. So anyway, my brother from another mother stopped by, and we were talking about, want to say the word. Yeah, we'll do the word COVID, right? He has two very young children, okay? And the way that we handle COVID was our choice, just like the way you guys handle COVID was our choice. He has two younger children. I would feel absolutely terrible if I brought something that potentially did harm to them. So we decided to, we social distance from them, and he finally decided to stop by. He brought his younger son. Now, a year ago, he was like a baby, and now he's walking, making sounds, and minutely, talking. So he just, popped on over. So we just wanted to.
He's definitely talking. He was just shy, incredibly shy of him.
Yeah, because think about the last time they saw me, I didn't have hair.
Wonder why.
But anyway, so that was a good time. So like I said, it was just, it was a pleasant surprise. And we're sorry we cut you short, but it is what it is. I hope you guys, understand.
And for what his friend needed, I definitely could not have helped him solo. So
yeah, he wanted to borrow our aerator.
I can't lift that. I would have tried. I did offer.
Happy Saturday. Here in Long Island, New York, it is absolutely pouring. I had every intention of cutting my grass this weekend, but that's obviously going to have to hold off.
It's kind of like his hair.
The town stopped by. Well, they didn't stop by. I went to go take the dog. The dog doesn't go for walks. He goes for strolls. I mean, very slow strolls. It's like a 5-minute endeavor to get down the driveway. And the town, yes, the town, as we were strolling down the driveway, the town pulled up. Now we're no stranger to the town, so I know they're Ford Taurus. Instead of pulling up in front of the house, they pull up in front of the neighbor's house, who we do not get along with, and parks there. So me and the dog finally make it down the driveway, and we start our route. And this car is parked on the side of the road where we have to walk. There's no sidewalk, so I'm standing behind it because I'm not going to try and squeeze between the car and the bushes and stuff to get where we need to go. And I'm definitely not going to go around the car because we live on a main road. So I don't feel like getting taken out by a car. And I don't want to have the dog taken out either. The dog is deaf, so he has no conception of anything. So I just get to the back of the car and I'm just waiting. And the lady is in the car and she's looking at me and I'm looking at her through the rearview mirror and I'm just waiting. I'll take my time. He's in no rush. I'm in no rush, right? Then all of a sudden she goes to the rearview mirror and goes like this. And I turn around to her and I go like this. No, I'm not going anywhere. So then she finally gets out of the car and she was like, "Are you the owner at so-and-so?" And I looked at her like, "You just saw me leave the house with the dog." But I just kept on, I'm like, "Yeah, that's me." And she was like, "Oh, your grass is, getting a little tall. We have an ordinance." She's like, this is kind of like also like a welfare check. Is everything going on?
When did this happen?
I forgot what day it was this week. I have to check the cameras.
I know people over there. Why didn't you?
That doesn't do anything for us. Remember the last time? It didn't do anything for us.
It did. They stopped coming by.
It didn't do anything for us.
That's not true. I hope this is a true story. I'll look into it.
Yeah, check the cameras. So anyway, her friend did absolutely nothing for us the last time.
It did.
Because they tried finding us and we had to
and bend. We didn't get a fine.
No, they didn't do anything for us.
We didn't get a fine.
Because they tried kicking the truck out of the driveway. They tried having to do a few other things.
On the truck,
and what about Mandingo? No, you tell the truth. Her connection did absolutely nothing for us. So we got into a huge argument because they said that we weren't allowed to have Mandingo in the driveway because Mandingo has 6 wheels and that's considered a commercial vehicle. So I fought them and says, guess what? This truck has passenger plates. And I showed them when we bought the truck to what the mileage has now. I says, what kind of commercial vehicle we have if we only have 3,000 miles over the X amount of years that we've owned this? What kind of business are we running? So then we had to do a few things. And one of the things that they told us is that when they do the inspection, Mandingo cannot be in the driveway. So me and her got into a big argument. And I says, there is no way that this truck is not leaving this driveway for the inspection. I know my rights. I read my rules. So if her connection was a good connection, I wouldn't have to move Mandingo out of the driveway because I know my case. But instead of fighting with her and her connection, I ended up parking Mandingo all the way around the block. So when they did their inspection, everything was okay because, her connection was so good.
And any town ordinance, they're supposed to come back more than one additional time.
And that's fine. And has Mandingo ever left the driveway? No.
We're not going to have this
Again,
discussion.
your connection. So anyway, so this is like a welfare check. And they basically want to know if everything was okay. And then I says, and then basically, long story short, without trying to insult her, I says, I can go into a whole long synopsis of why my grass is tall, but I'm not. I says, I'm growing new grass. I don't want to rip anything out. It will be cut within the next week or two. Everything is fine. And at the tip of my tongue, I wanted to sit there and say, you see all these lawnmowers in my driveway? Do you think I need a freaking lawnmower? So that was just, one thing or the next. But I really wanted to. It's getting a little tall. I think I got it a little too tall. There's just one spot that I didn't say it's not trouble growing, but the growth is just a little bit slow compared to others. And I honestly don't know why. So that's that. Let's go to the chat. Good morning. How are you? KCB, good morning. How are you? KCB, you are absolutely on fire. Like I said, again, if you guys are not on Instagram, you absolutely need to get on Instagram. KCB is freaking banging them out of the park. There is a local flipper that is our style, that doesn't mind spending money on tractors and doesn't mind spending a little bit of effort and time to even fixing and flipping them. So he is like the Pat Taste Performance of tractors, gets very good money for them. KCB posted a little snippet on a lawn tractor that he got and it was having some issues. And this flipper commented on there. He doesn't have a YouTube channel. Basically telling KCB to replace the head gasket and do the valves. He sees it all the times before he writes off the motor. And I strongly suggest that. I would trust him 110%. Definitely, worth the effort. I know lawn tractor engines are a little bit pricey. So I think before you do that, I would even go along the fourth, even doing piston rings on it. That's just me. I don't know what you guys would spend on a replacement engine. That is not my forte. I know they are expensive. Mows and blowers outdone. We got to have a little chit chat.
Good morning, Rich.
Good morning, Rich. How are you? Hope all is well. I was checking out your channel at some point during the week. I had you on podcast. I had to stop. You were doing a couple of short videos and you were doing a Predator and a Skag Turf Tiger. Now, if you guys don't know what a Skag Turf Tiger is, that is a commercial grade zero turn. You should be doing a how-to Predator swap on that video. I cannot stress that more than enough. Okay, I'm in touch with a lot of landscapers. I cannot tell you that will be a viral video. And that's for anybody here. If any of you guys want to get into a zero turn and start doing a Predator swap on one of those, absolutely. Because if you wanted to swap in like a Kawasaki, you're looking at a couple $1,000 compared to a Harbor Freight engine, which I think, correct me if I'm wrong, is less than $1,000. Should be around like $800, give or take a little. I know you're going to be flipping that. So I would just try and see if you ever get that back in, like an update. I know I seen your other video. You rock a Poulin Pro for your personal machine. Maybe for the tube, you hang on to that Predator-powered Skag Turf Tiger. A lot of landscapers absolutely love them. The striping and cut on those is amazing. Definitely looking forward to that video. If you've completed it already, it is what it is. Next time, keep in mind, definitely, do the VLOC, because I know there's a lot of questions with the wire harness and as far as cranks matching up and all that stuff. So I hope all is well. Awesome, awesome, awesome content that's going to be
Rich,
coming out.
I really enjoy your channel. You never, you always have such nice things to say about everyone. You never feel like you ever have to put down anyone else to make yourself look bigger. I love that about you. It was such a healthy channel. Really a great guy to check out. Roger, Good morning. Another gentleman, such a pure gentleman. I love having Roger around. Good morning. And we're saying hello to each other. Good morning. Good morning. Crazy rebuilds. It's so good. I'm seeing a lot of you around. I actually check out many of your videos, everyone here who's in the chat. And I'm starting to see you. I love your little logo. I love the new logo. How is business over on your end of the the wishy-washy island? Because I have to tell you, over here, it's been a little erratic, but I don't think things are over just yet. I had someone reach out the other day that they just took out their mower for the first time and realized it was garbage and they had gotten rid of it. I almost wanted to say to them, like, where do you live? And like, what curb did you put it at? But they lowballed. The deal just wasn't going to work out. So I really do think people were waiting to like this Memorial Day weekend to like spruce up their yard. And unfortunately, the weather just didn't work out here. I've got friends in other parts of the East Coast, just like further down, and apparently it's like a washout everywhere, unfortunately. But I think June's going to be good. I think the business is going to pick up a little bit more because people are going to get some nicer weather.
Fingers crossed, they're selling a package deal today.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to wish you some very good luck because unlike some people, I like to wish really good karma on other people.
I wish karma too.
And
my favorite, I have a video coming out. You know what I heard this phrase? Karma received is karma earned. And that's going to tie into a video.
Ooh.
We're going to have an amazing video coming out. I bought a lawnmower off of someone from another flipper who absolutely ripped them off. And I know who that person is. When I post that mower might even look familiar to you guys. And I almost got beat up because I tried doing the right thing. When the guy started, telling his story, I tried doing the right thing. And I actually increased my offer for his full asking for what he paid for the lawnmower. This guy got completely flat out ripped off, lied to, cheated. He bought a lawnmower, made it home, didn't make a second pass while trying to cut his grass, and completely conked out. And he called up the person who sold it to him, and the guy basically told him to piss off. And then he got really frustrated, got really aggravated, waited like a week, tried to start it again, and then fuel started leaking out of it. Called this individual again, and the guy was like, oh, it's like a $3 part, and hung up on him. So this guy was like flipping mad. And, once he started talking, I knew exactly who it was. And I'm like, oh, come on, man. All right. I says, you know what? I says, and this guy knew, he started saying things, knew exactly what it was. And I says, listen, I have a YouTube channel. I try and do positive things with it. Okay. So what I'm going to do is, I know, we would, and my community would appreciate this, we will definitely, I'll use my channel's proceeds and I will definitely buy this lawnmower for you for what you paid for it. And then this guy freaking lost his and says, oh, do you work together with him? And I'm like, no. And he started stepping towards me. And I'm like, so he ended up accepting the offer that I gave him. He didn't want, full asking price. He didn't want full asking price. He didn't want the money he bought the lawnmower for. So we're going to go through this lawnmower that this guy was shysted about. We're going to do a whole segment on it. I can't say this over and over again. Okay, there's going to be also in this video, I'm going to show you about how I handled something similar to this. You fix and flip, right? Everything is not going to be a home run. Okay? Everything is not even going to be a single where you make a little bit of money. There are going to be machines you're going to be in the negative with. And that is the cost of doing business, right? Whatever you want to call it, right? Sometimes you win, sometimes you lose. You need to, as an irresponsible adult or individual, you need to own up to some of your machines. Yes, we all talk about sold as is and no guarantees or warranties applied, right? We all have those rules. Once those shots are fired, those rules go right out the door. I mean, come on, if you sold a lawnmower the same day, didn't even make a second pass, the guy calls you up, you should be taking that lawnmower back. No doubt, 110%. Doesn't mean you're giving him his money back. Either swap him out for a different machine or you try and repair it. So I reached out to somebody and I says, hey, do you? And he says, yes. And he sent me the video on the lawnmower. And in that video, the gentleman says that this thing's a piece of junk and he's having trouble fixing it. So why would you advertise it and sell it for a running lawnmower? Absolutely, insane. But I understand people have different things and whatever's going on. So I said, we'll just make sure like this never happened. And the guy didn't want, the full money that what he bought the lawnmower for. So it is. So we're going to go through that and just see, where he, where this individual, fell short, and we're going to rectify that. Yeah. And that's where I got the karma received is karma earned, because when this guy was going through his tirade, he said that. And I'm like,
well, here's the thing. Let's speak about karma, right? Boys and girls in the chat, karma. I have not yet heard that particular line, but I love when people love to use the word karma, because here's the thing. A good deed has got to be done to receive good karma, and you've got to do good deeds and not care about the recognition that you receive in return, and you've got to do good even when no one's watching. The one thing I seem to notice by certain individuals in life is that they love doing good deeds when they know people are watching, or when good is noticed by the world around them. What I love is the genuine people in life who love doing good things when no one knows and no one's watching. That's how good karma actually works. When you do the good things in your everyday life and you are just a genuinely good person. Now, I want to say something in regards to, because it ties in beautifully with our community post that the Mister put up this week about the air filters, the Kohler air filters. In regards to my friend, who happens to be a very good coworker of mine, it's her brother-in-law that the Mister is referring to. So I want to apologize to him poo-pooing how he did us that favor.
What favor?
That was Danielle's brother-in-law.
About
you're
what?
Speaking of the town worker.
Didn't do us any favors.
Yes, he did. And you can apologize to me now. So at the end of the day, here's what I think people are struggling with in life. And it goes for even like your small shop engine owners. Listen, I believe, as I wrote back on the community post, being a nice person, listen, a lot of you guys wrote in, and I saw like Iron Duke, you wrote in. A few of you guys wrote in like your small engine shop guys. They're just not nice guys. You know what? And
don't blame them to an extent.
And listen, I was just about to say that. Listen, there's no excuse. Some people just had a rough day. If you're going in every single time, like we've got one shop nearby that like you could catch this guy first thing in the morning, in the afternoon, or the night, and you can catch him after he's had a beautiful meal. I'm sure this guy's going to have a tune no matter what. We don't go there anymore. We're not kind of invited back there.
Yeah, we were banned.
But there's also a shop that's nearby to his job. He's nicer to me than he's nicer to him. I don't know why. But here's the other piece too. I saw some commentary being made about like pricing, like the pricing's really high at my small engine repair shop. I want to speak on that.
Respect that.
Yes, and that's where I'm going with this, because I saw some of the comments, and we respect everyone's comments. That's why those community posts are a lot of fun. That it's an open forum. Like, let's get the conversation going, right? Yes. But here's what we have to remember, right? Just like any other business, right? These guys have overhead, right? They've got a lease or rent, or they own their building. They've got mortgage. They've sometimes got workers working under them. They've got to pay taxes on that building. There's got to be some kind of profit margin, so for them to, have the kind of prices that you or I could get off an eBay or an Amazon, we should know walking in there, it's not going to be that. You'll see on the community page that I wrote back during one of the storms, I went back 5 times to a local shop that his buddy had used. And I don't think your buddy is a huge fan of the place. I love those guys. It was during like the height of COVID wintertime, this past winter.
To pick up my parts now.
And I got to tell you,
I completely forgot about.
Can I be honest with you? And again, we go back and forth. Oh, you're a woman, you're this. I got to be honest. There were other women online that these guys were not as nice to. I'll tell you why.
She could shop talk.
These women, they didn't know what they were going in there for, and some were very rude to these guys that own this shop. I'm a firm believer in it costs nothing to be nice. Nothing. And if you were raised right, you're a nice person. These guys are just trying to do their job and run their business. And you know what? If you catch someone who's a little rough around the feathers, you know what? At the end of the day, talk nicey nice to them. You know what? Maybe these guys who are a little rough around the edges, maybe they've come across the wrong customer all day, every day, a little too long. You have some rough customers all day. How do you think you're going to act after a while? It rubs off. I'm sorry. Not to say it's right, not to say it's wrong, but I will say I did see a customer come in when I was getting belts for him, and this guy was busting the chops of one of the owners about prices. And he was like, I could get the price of this X, Y, and Z. And the guy's like, buddy, this is what it is. Like, I welcome you to go. He used our line. I welcome you to go somewhere else. Listen, I like giving back when we can to our small businesses.
Within reason.
Within reason.
Within reason.
Totally agree.
And I've tried. Remember, we spoke about this.
Yeah.
I've tried negotiating. I tried.
Yeah.
I tried. Right? I've tried. Like, if you got, I don't mean to cut you off, but remember, like with the lawnmower blades, right? Try and buy them. I cannot stress this.
Yeah.
Try and carburetors, buy in bulk, right? These guys don't use. I spoke to them. They do not use aftermarket carburetors. So I even tried with lawnmower blades, right? I got lawnmower blades at $8 a pop. How much is Sten's charging you? When you become a Sten's dealer or whatever, you need to carry a certain amount of inventory. How crazy, how moronic is that for guys like us, right? We're a flipper before we are a fixer. So we're always trying to get machines done in a cost and time efficient manner. But that doesn't mean you cut your nose to spite your face in the sense that you're going to send a piece of junk out there and whatever happens to it, happens to it. Sometimes you do. But if something happens within a certain amount of time outside your normal time frame, that's up to you to make it right. And you should make it right. You're going to send a lawnmower out there, this might happen, this might you let it go. Well, fine, you can do that. If it comes back, you better do the right thing. Yeah. And this mower that we're going to have on the channel, guy didn't do the right thing. It is what it is. Yeah. But we did the right thing, in hopes for him.
And so what I saw from the parlay and the community page, some of you guys, I know Kenny was one of them. He does a lot of business with his small. Yeah. And you know what? If him and his small engine shop can work out some great deals because he goes so frequently,
I've tried.
That's fantastic.
Can't negotiate with them.
But what I think people need to remember, and this is not just small engine guys like you and I, it's in all business, because I get people who, and even in my line of work that I do on the side, they'll see me for a couple of sessions for one of their children. They don't know me. They were referred to me. Some of you guys will go into a small engine shop maybe once or twice, and you guys expect these guys to cut you some kind of deal. Guys, someone doesn't know you. You're going in there maybe once a month, once every other month. They still got to run a business, like I do respect the game. You know what I'm saying? Like, just like if you guys had a customer once a year, yeah, that's great. This guy buys equipment from you once a year, but once a year is once a year. There's 365. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I think we all just have to remember at the end of the day, like, it's still a business. People have to put food on the table, pay the overhead, pay the bills. And you know what? If a shop just has like a real snarky individual who's running it, you remember, you got a choice. You don't got to give this individual business. Keep it moving, go to the next place, or there's other means to purchase your things. Like, we have other resources.
My biggest expense is I used to replace spark plugs and I stopped. My buddy talked me out of doing that. Okay. Mm-hmm. Blades, air filters, and belts. Okay. I can get blades. You guys see there's no disclosure. My belts for snowblowers, anywhere from like $4 to $8, $12. Okay. Small engine shops are charging more than double than that. So I was trying to get, belts like 10, anywhere from like, charge me an extra $2, $4. You're not doing anything except me going in there or me calling you saying, hey, I need you to order me this belt. These are your part numbers. Thank you. Goodbye. They could not work out, that deal with me. And the guy basically says, you're getting some of these belts cheaper than what we pay for in general. Now, these guys, because they're a dealer, they only use OEM parts. So we love Kevlar belts. And they do not sell Kevlar unless it's offered from the dealer. So it's a little, it is what it is. But we try and patronize them for little things here and there. Like I was just telling Kenny on you guys, I have a Kohler here. I needed a spark plug, $10 for it. I could have went to Home Depot, would have been $5. But right around the corner, in and out, $10. See you later, love you, bye. So those things, we do, little things, here and there. But I think year to date, I wouldn't say year to date because we already started the new year. But between last year and this year, I think I spent around maybe like $400 with them. So it is what it is. And
there was another shop this past winter by us. I tried another little place. I wanted for giggles, which it's so funny. I don't know if we even ended up putting them in my ARIANs. I wanted to try ARIAN shear pins this winter. And, another shop had them by us. And we had never, ever, maybe for one other thing, frequented them. So I was prepared. I know what the ARIAN shear pins go for. And the guy and I started talking, had a real night. The guy was rocking. I mean, it was like right the 2 days before a storm. So this guy was busy and he was like, do you have like 2 minutes? He's like, we could step aside, talk about what, what your interest in the shear pins are. He's like, I'm real limited. He's like, I'm going through them right and left on machines that I'm doing repairs on, before the storm. He turned around and he bundled me up some. And I'm like, I priced it out. Those should have cost me about 30 something bucks for the amount that he gave me. He was like, here you go. He goes, I wish I had a few more to give you. And I actually blatantly came out and told him, I said, we do our own repairs. Like, he knows I'm not going to be a frequent customer even. It's just, again, just being a decent human being, having a nice conversation, a good dialogue. Life's funny that way. Take 2 moments to stop and smell the roses once in a while. Paul, it's good to have you here. Good morning.
Morning, Paul. How are you, Paul? Well, I think he's a little bit up north, so you should be getting some of this rain too.
Oh, it's gross.
Christ.
Primed for a good time. Chris,
good morning, Chris. How are you? Mr. Martini, how you doing?
Get out your umbrella. Jamie, it's always good to see you, Jamie. I know you appreciate a good quote like I do. And a few of you on here have said to me before that when I find a good one to share, there's been a few things that have been heavy on my heart in the last last 2 weeks. I think sometimes when people say things about you that aren't true, you want to immediately go and put on the Rocky, boxing gloves. I know who I am as a person. I know I would give the shirt off my back to anyone. Anyone in my life who truly knows who I am. I've been through it so much in my years, and I am a good person through and through. So I found a quote. For those of you who sometimes are misunderstood, who tell the truth and people can't accept it sometimes. And listen to this one. Don't underestimate me. I know more than I say, think more than I speak, and notice more than you realize. I can sometimes be quiet. When I get really quiet, you know that I'm observing. And when I shut you out sometimes, I'm taking notes. Friends, sometimes when you're in that place where, you're evaluating your business, evaluating things in life, don't let anybody make you feel less than what you are. Don't, in business, when you know your worth for your equipment, don't let anybody else tell you otherwise. Stick true to your values. Stick true to your worth. And remember, don't let anyone underestimate you. You always know who you are. And my mother always told me, nobody can take that away from you. So Jamie, that one's for you. And for those of you who always write back to me and in the chats that one hit home for you. Good morning, everyone. Bald Eagle, I tell you this every time. I love your name, Bald Eagle 242. I don't want to be remiss in saying this weekend, I know we're all boo-hooing about the weather, but and I know that put a damper on anyone who planned on mowing a lawn, fixing equipment, barbecues, pool dates, beach dates, whatever it may be. but let's be honest. This weekend is truly not about any of the above. This weekend is about giving thanks to all of those who have served, all of those who have given, so we could have this beautiful freedom that we have in front of us, to be able to have things like these chats that we're having today. And so this weekend is truly about being grateful. So to anybody that, if you know someone, anyone here in the chat, thank you for your service. Thank you to anyone that you may know who has been there for us as a country, who continues to serve us. We are so thankful. In this house, we bleed red, white, and blue through and through. Polar Bear, good morning. He's on a mobile repair, so he's going to be listening. Polar, Uncle Ed is a rock star. Uncle Ed, I hope you are doing this mobile repair and the rain has held off just for you. And so I hope you're safe doing that repair. Uncle Ed has a fantastic channel as well, some amazing videos. He's got a little bit for everyone.
Just posted a Cub Cadet video. We got to go through that. And
then if you're hungry later, cook with Uncle Ed as well. He does everything. I don't think there's anything Uncle Ed can't do. Uncle Ed just commented about one of Bald Eagle's videos.
Yeah, that John Deere theory is going on. That was pretty cool too with the hood.
Fantastic. Good to hear. Jason Hughes, good morning.
Jason, how are you?
Okay, saying good morning. We have Dick's Small Engines. Good morning, afternoon. Dick's an over the pond friend, so good morning to him as well. Oh, see, I asked Crazy Rebuilds. Okay, so how do you feel about business right now?
Spurts.
Okay.
No consistency.
No consistency. You know what? So spurts are better than nothing, right? So maybe, hopefully that'll pick up at some point. I see we have a new name in the chat, James Lawnmower Man. Are you familiar with this?
No, welcome to the channel. Okay, so I know he says a lawnmower man, but it's always a staple. Okay. Got to tell us where you're from, and do you get snow?
His favorite question.
It says lawnmower man. You just have to answer that. Good morning, Uncle Arch. How are you? You had a beautiful lawnmower posted for sale. Hope one day, when you get a little slow, I'm just going to go there and hand you a bunch of cash to take a bunch of your machines. I know we're in two different areas, but you're really shortchanging yourself. I can't say that more than enough. It's pretty wild. I didn't do a video on it, but I purchased a Toro lawnmower. I didn't want to, but I couldn't keep my mouth shut. When I go on a pick, I always ask if you have anything else for sale. Mm-hmm. And I got a Tecumseh Power Toro personal pace, electric start. And I just had to get it. I just had to get it going. I never had a key start Tecumseh powered lawnmower before. And I just had to buy it. I bought it and I ended up selling it for $260 after I invested about $35 into it, between a new battery and a custom harness. So that was a really, really good profit, really, really unique machine. Cleaned it up right, looked right. Didn't really have to do, much to really good, thorough power washing, not using $9 Super Clean. And service, new battery and a new harness, and that thing was ripping and roaring out the door. Really, really good machine. Probably one of the best starting Tecumsehs I've ever had because they didn't have to pull on it.
Ken, good morning. Good to see you here. Oh, Ken's got us beat. It's 45. Yeah, this is not okay. We should not be regressing back. Although the other day, I think we were up to like 93 at one point here. And I was like, okay, summertime needs to take a little back seat. It's a little too soon for all that. Scotty, yeah, it's funny. Full disclosure, I will admit, he did message me yesterday, Scott Keller, that he was going to try to get a haircut. He did make an attempt. We will see how tomorrow goes. They are open again on Sunday. So we will see what happens with him getting a haircut tomorrow. He did use my very expensive Paul Mitchell Maraca oil shampoo or conditioner, maybe both. So he says he has to because he has long hair. So yes, he combed and took a shower this morning. Thomas, thank you so much for stopping in.
Congratulations on your new job. Hope all is well.
That's wonderful. Congratulations. I don't know if Kenny had a chance to respond. Bald Eagle, he's up in Connecticut. Beautiful part of Connecticut. Scooting up, scooting up, scooting up. Up, he did respond. Up, Jungle Bob, it's always good to see you here. Good morning. Good morning, good morning. Good morning, good morning. Good morning, good morning. Oh, see, all over the place. Ohio, 48 degrees. I think we all got hit with the cold, the rain.
Always trying to. All right, that's pretty good. I used to do that, but then I feel that if I let the machine run, because I always change the oil, I think that tells tall tale sign. Every so often, I will use it to cut my backyard. Never my front yard. Just make a quick pass. That's it. If I feel like, sometimes I feel like I'm hearing things, sometimes I'm not hearing it. If I hear like a slight miss, then, I'll hold the lawnmower for a little bit and see if I can make a pass. If I make a pass with it and it doesn't bog down, see you later. Love you. Bye.
Scotty, I just read through the message. We're sending prayers. The missus has a very long list that I keep at night of who I say prayers for. I say this to the mister all the time, and I'm a firm believer, and I can see from the messages you're all writing, life is so precious. It truly is. For those of you who know my story, I spent the night before with my mama. She was 53, and the next morning I got a call. She passed away. Not sick, never saw it coming. Life is not promised. It's interesting. There is, we're not part of it. There's a Baptist church on the way to our house, and they always have this, these little sayings on their sign. And they're saying that they've kept up now for a little over a month, I want to say, is, make sure you tell the people that you love them while you actually can say it to them. Because tomorrow's not guaranteed. I tell this to the mister all the time, say goodnight. You shouldn't go to bed angry. Spend those moments, even if they're short moments, with those that you care about. At the end of the day, life is super unpredictable. To say anything snarky, to be unkind, to not be loving, you don't want to put your head down on the pillow and the next morning not be guaranteed, and you were not the person that you wanted that person to know you were. So, Scotty, we'll be thinking of you. You are an amazing human being, a character of all characters, but I would want nothing else of you than for you to be you. Your father is probably so proud of you, and you're amazing to him. So we'll be thinking of you. I'm including you and your dad in my prayers, and just thinking of you. And I know this cannot be easy, what you're going through. Bald Eagle says, I had a mower a few weeks ago. Guy bought it, took it home, and it died 10 minutes after he got home. He bought it back to me, and it started right up. We've had some interesting bringbacks.
Seller's remorse. We've actually had that. We've actually had one where you're actually blessed enough to actually document it on the channel.
He said, long story short, I gave him his money back, even though it started fine when he bought it back. After cutting my grass for about 15 minutes, it died on me. His cap was not venting.
Nope.
Interesting.
Okay, very good, very good.
I drilled a hole for it to vent, and it was fine. So then now you can go ahead and maybe do a resell now, right? Crazy Rebuild says, if you need to load up on a Stens order, let me know.
I appreciate it. Thank you so much. But I think from what I've understood and talking to people, for what I use my business for, my hobby, I get better pricing than Stens, and I think that's great that you're a vendor. I think there's a minimum order. You should definitely, do what we do at times and try and find eBay sellers and negotiate with them. I can't stress that, more than enough. But if you don't mind me asking, what do you pay for a basic blade for a 21-inch MTD push mower. We use Gator blades just because we can get them that cheap. I also feel it's a better blade too.
Uncle Art says, I had to replace the ACT on a Kohler Toro I sold at the first of the season. He still isn't happy, says it has no power. I don't like the new Kohlers. Very pretty, but crappy.
Okay, so yeah, I hate the Kohlers. I'm having one right now that's giving me an issue.
He said ACR. I'm sorry.
The guy has a lawnmower that runs and dies after 3 hours of use. Did you hear that? This guy's cutting his grass for 3 hours.
Wait, I'm sorry, I just caught that. 3 hours.
Yeah, it's Joe F.
How big is the yard?
3 hours.
Or is he running it while he has a beer and never turning it on?
3 hours he's cutting his grass. I cannot replicate that issue. I cannot. My neighbors would shoot me. And he wanted to do a tune-up on it because he hasn't done it in a few years, and a new blade. I have that explained on the channel as well. And I think I'm going to end up just telling this guy, you got to bring this to a shop, because they can run a machine for 3 hours. I can't.
So I know
I can't even run a machine for an hour.
The individual that he's speaking of, I had a relationship with them prior to him. I know the house and the yard. They don't have a yard that constitutes 3 hours.
I don't know. I've only seen their front yard. It is pretty big. The backyard, I have no idea.
No.
They have a corner lot. So here on Long Island, corner lots generally tend to have more property.
I mean, maybe snail's pace?
I'm not getting involved.
Yeah, I think it's a better idea. I think being honest and nice is the deal I offer to my customers.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Not?
Like I said, we've been doing this for so long. God willing, no one has ever publicly bashed us. We've had maybe like someone kind of sort of, but that was another flipper. And I said, but we spoke about this on the channel. I put that to rest really, really quick.
And the Mr., whether he heard or not, I had even this week for myself with my business, I'm extremely honest. Like when someone's looking to take on a service, I am not the most affordable. I am not, but I am very good at what I do. And I have clients that'll say to me, how many times a week do you think that my child needs remediation? I say multiple things. I say, of course, that's going to be your choice. It's your budget. I even tell people that if you find someone else, I'll tell them all the information they need to be successful with your child. I am 1000% honest in my line of work. I feel like no matter what you do, small engines, remediation, if you come in and you do home repairs, I remember when we were looking for a house painter, oh boy, they can lie like an Asian rug. The stories that we would hear about the services they could offer, you know what? You immediately turn people off the minute you start lying. I have found in business, hobbies, whatever you'd like to refer to yourself as, the more honest you are, the more attractive you are. And I got to be honest, the more attractive you are, the more someone wants your service or what you're selling. So right off the gate, out the gate, just tell people the truth. Tell them what their options are. Even if you're not a part of the equation, people start to question when you take yourself out of it. They're like, wait a second, this person's not even trying to push themselves on me. It's like you just have to give people options and just be truthful about it. Ashley, good morning. It's good to have you here. Kaiser Dog, good morning. It's great to have you here as well. Yeah. Brayden, good morning. Rain, I guess, with all the sunshine and heat that we've had for so long, I guess we need a little bit of rain, unfortunately, on this kind of weekend. Roger's he's had the rain already, so today's gonna be sunny and
Jesus,
we
3 days
wish.
straight. Oh, everything's gonna love that.
Oh wait, Smithtown, no
what?
rain.
I thought you were. Hey.
Oh, so you're not far. I will tell you, it's coming. It's definitely coming.
All right, so let's go back to what we didn't finish off last week. All right, so I'll do a little brief synopsis and actually change the way we do our format now. little things going on. So we're talking about when you guys sell equipment and people want to try and beat you up and throw some things in your face to try and devalue you and the things that you sell, right? You need to have confidence in yourself and the machines that you sell. And you also need to be aware of what other people do around you, and you could play that card against them in your favor. Now, sometimes these cards are going to be against your favor too as well, but you only use that for your benefit. You don't sit there and try and do certain things. And we're gonna talk about that. We'll do a brief synopsis, and then we'll talk about that what we missed, because the guy messaged me again. I told this guy, I threw this guy out of the driveway. I told him he was not welcome to come back, right? Then the second time he reached out to me, I threw him another thing. And then he messaged me a third time that I made it very quite and clear that I was not. So that'll show you that I'm not saying if you don't have to agree with some of the words that I use, that's fine. But that just shows you that even though I told this guy no thank you and he was giving me excuses and throwing the other machines and other sellers, how I was able to break down that barrier and show him that the product that I offer is worth the price. And you just have to just check this out. So we're gonna do share screen, share screen. Here we go. Hold on. We'll get rid of us. How do we get rid of us? All right. Whoops. Can you hear me now?
No audio.
Can you hear me now? Can you guys hear me? Hold on. Okay. Okay, so I threw this guy out of the driveway because he wasted a half hour of my time. He went to come buy a push mower that said it clearly in the ad, and then I dragged out other lawnmowers that were push mowers. So basically, long story short, told him don't come back because he had an appointment to go see lawnmowers from another flipper. No problem. So told him never come back. He said, I'm your neighbor. And I says, I've never seen you before in my life, so you're not my neighbor. And he says, well, how about this? I'll just call you and you could deliver the lawnmower because I live around the block. I says, I'm not delivering anything because I have zero interest in basically doing any business with you. Something along those lines. So even after he went to the other flipper and I told him, don't come back, he decides that he could try and message me. Hi, I would like to see these, even though I like the first one I saw, which was the push mower that he didn't want because he wanted self-propelled. Full disclosure, your pricing is a lot more than the other units I saw. Can I come by this later afternoon? No, I told you can't come back. What part of that don't you understand? So that means this guy wasted my time for a half hour. Then he went to Centerport and wasted this guy's time for a half hour. What are you trying to accomplish? So even after he saw my prices, he still wants to come back, even though he tried to slide in something else. And I says, that's fine. Enjoy your other units. Have a great day. I told this guy, go to Centerport, buy a lawnmower, enjoy it. I have no interest in doing anything with you. But he still thinks that there was something missing. There was something that he didn't like about this guy. That means he wants to come back to me. So I told her, there's a lot of junk out there, not serviced and at times outdated. Even if you're selling machines, that's not your problem that are outdated. That's for the seller to educate themselves on. So I'm playing cards on what other people are trying to sell, not me. The mowers that he's looking at are relatively new. That's why you didn't get the other lawnmower. Now I'm calling him out. My prices are my prices, and I don't have issues selling them at those prices. Feel free to do your research before you come over so you don't want to continue to waste my time as well as yours. I got a little nasty with him. And then he says, not really. The ones I saw in Centerport were very good. So if they were very good, why didn't you buy them, right? Does that make any sense? So here we are. Look at this. This is a Briggs. Looks very nice, but it has a Quantum on there with the old style with those plastic carbs on the top with the tank. Old, still gold, but use that to your advantage. Another one, Quantum, nice one. We all know that's an older machine. Again, use that to your advantage because the lawnmowers that I have are a lot newer. Enjoy those machines. They can't be compared to mine. Oldies but goodies, and those are push mowers to boot. Remember, he wanted a self-propelled. Hopefully they are serviced. If not, get that done too. Because remember, that service should be included in the value of your machine. And you should always, always double down and always, always stress that. I appreciate those prices. They just doubled down that I'm on point with mine. Zero negotiation. And we left it off at there. So then here is, I went out and I did some research, and this is one of the lawnmowers that the guy is selling. A great lawnmower, $140. All he did was sharpen the blade. He didn't change the oil, didn't service the air filter, didn't service the spark plug. He did nothing. So sorry, can't hold it to mine. Here we go. Sunday. Hi, I'm interested in your Husqvarna, and I saw on Craigslist you also have an Echo trimmer. What's your best offer on both? I told this guy 2 times. Go back to the guy and buy a lawnmower. He does not catch the drift, right? So this is after me telling him no and him telling me my prices are too much. He still wants to do business with me. Good evening. Sorry for the delay. I'm sorry I wasn't clear the last 2 times we spoke. I told you to buy the other mower in Centerport and enjoy it. I have zero interest in doing any business with you. There is no need to stop by anymore as well. Communicate with me. Congrats on your new home and best of luck to you in all your endeavors. In my opinion, this is a guy you do not want to sell to, right? Because I'm already married. Do you think this guy, after understanding what being sold as is with no guarantees or warranties applies? Do you think that that guy is going to understand and respect that? No. If something happens, God forbid, a couple months down the line, He's going to be down here and saying, well, you just sold me this lawnmower. This guy's going to be here a year later and say, well, you sold me this. I am not obligated to do anything within reason, okay? This guy, I felt, was just going to be a pain in the butt and a headache from no matter what. Just like he has the option to spend money with me, I have the option to sell something to him. So I exercised that option. And like I said, I did wish him luck, and I do wish him well with his new lawnmowers. He just has no place here. So that just goes to show you that after a while, right, you are going to build your brand. And we spoke about that before in another video with a younger gentleman. You could build your brand as well. Like I said, a little bit of service, a little bit of paint goes a really, really long way. And this gives you a fine example of how I told this guy to kick rocks 3 times and he still came back. There is nothing wrong with doing that. You are 110% allowed to do it. When someone wants to hand you money, you want to take it, but within relative reason. Be a good judge of character, okay? And happy selling.
Never sell yourself to the devil.
Yes, never sell yourself, devil, and never sell yourself short. And always do the right thing. Because remember, there's going to be a video. Karma received is karma earned. And it's going to be a good one that's going to be highlighting an issue that I've had personally. I didn't make it to the channel. I didn't get a chance to vlog it. But then I guess, God brought me this lawnmower that someone got ripped off on. So I'm going to time in my situation with the current situation, at hand. So tell me what you guys think of that situation. If you guys are in my shoes, how'd you guys feel I handled it? And what would you guys do? And have you guys had buyers like this and how you handled it? You don't have to comment now. You can always do this later. And there will be more videos in the future. I just have to finish a few things. And hopefully I can get that lawnmower video out for you guys. I didn't even video it. I bought it. And I just threw it to the side to the project pile. So we are coming almost up on an hour. I have to go on a pick. Might have to do 2 picks. We'll see. We'll see if we could split it. She goes one way, I go the other. If not, then it is what it is. With that being said, I'd like to thank you guys for stopping by as always. Stay dry. Have a wonderful weekend. And I'll catch you guys on the next one. All right, guys. Later.